So I've had an interesting day. I came clean. I came out professionally, which I didn't plan. It just happened. And I've never lied about it, but to be honest, no one has ever asked. And there's just this funny separation. We are the professionals and they, well, now we're supposed to call them customers, which implies a choice most of them don't have. We are efficient, skillful, detached, disturbingly, and they are difficult, complex, challenging. I mean, there's so many assumptions, most of which are negative about survivors, so I just cut off. Carried on training, working, doing my CPD, propping up the us and themness of it all, and, you know, I have been specifically discriminated against in a previous role after I disclosed, seen as less capable, shunned actually, so... And this system that doesn't really help, that pathologises people, re-traumatises people, that fails to deal with the actual issues, that never asks why someone is distressed or why someone wouldn't automatically bow to the authority of our great fucking wisdom. And yes, there is room for compassion, for connection, for individual kindnesses, although less and less time. And yes, we can blame the government and funding and the trust and low pay and burnout and then there are just some people who are like your Nurse Ratched types, like Amanda, who is actually just a bit of a bully, a lot of a bully, a bit of a cunt, actually. And I've been a bit naughty. I mean, it's ridiculous, but I just despise her. And it gives me a little kick to quietly piss her off. So I've been stealing her tea bags, her special ones, just a few a week for the last 3 years. And it gives me great pleasure and entertainment to watch her deal with it, to try and work out where they're going and who's taking them, and the announcements in the staff room are fun. And the labelling and post-it note phase, that was a particular high point. And it's petty revenge, but Jesus Christ, she is fucking monstrous. Today, in the team meeting, which was the usual shit show, she was peak Amanda, waxing lyrical about one of the customers, saying actually disgusting things like boasting that she specifically ignored this person, citing her diagnosis as a reason to discredit her and invalidate her. And she kept saying, like it was some sort of professional badge of honour, people like her just want attention and you can't believe anything she says, and people like her, blah, blah, blah. And I saw red and everything went slow motion. And I was standing up in the meeting shouting, I am people like her. She is me. I am her. And we are people worthy of love, attention, connection, creative, resourceful human beings who have learned to sit with pain that most people cannot even imagine. And then I carried on for quite a while, covered her vile complacency, threw some stats around and somehow didn't call her a cunt. And then, for some reason, I told her about the tea bags. I was trying to make a point about how that minor violation made her feel, her adaptive behaviours and vigilance, trying to hold up a mirror and say, what if it wasn't tea bags? What if it was your childhood? Your innocence, your body. And it was interesting, the usual mixed bag of you're so brave and, well, this isn't really appropriate. And you could see some people recalibrating, like I suddenly made sense to them in a way that I hadn't before. And I said, I didn't tell you because I wanted you to see me differently. I told you because I wanted you to see you differently. And then I checked out, started crying and dissociating, and Nurse Ratched bitch came over all tight and poised and wanted, in that moment, to have an apology about the tea bags. And I was like, wait, what? I've just called out your deeply offensive, victim-blaming behaviour, and you want me to apologise? And she persisted. Theft is theft, Anita, she said. Wrongdoing is wrongdoing, and people are entitled to their feelings. And I looked her in the eye and said, exactly, Amanda. That is exactly my point.